right. Wow, it's been ages. So nice to reconnect. It's been a while, and I have been away to Nigeria. I just got back from Nigeria promoting my work, doing some storytelling. I'll post videos later. But yes, we have to keep the vision moving. So I'm back with Tales with Tosinger. And you know what time it is? It's time for Tales with Tosinger. Tell me what time it is. It's time for Tales with Tosinger. Tell me what time it is. It's time for Tales with Tosinger. Tell me what time it is. It's time for Tales with Tosinger. It's time for Tales with Tosinger. Yes, it's time for Tales with Tosinger. And I have a gift right here. This right here is a wooden carved, kind of like a scoop. It's called an Igbako in Yoruba, from the Yoruba tribe. And we use it to mold food out to serve, oh, it's about to rain. We use it to mold food like eba. Eba is, gari, made with gari and water, in hot water. You have like molded foods like fufu that you dip in stew and eat. So we use it to mold any, moldable food to serve. So this is like a server, and it's also called an Igbako. And today's story is actually related, but this Igbako is up for grabs. It's up for grabs. If you just comment below, and I'll just do a random pick of whoever wants to win this Igbako, and I'll send me your address and I'll send it to you. So this is my gift to you from Nigeria. So which brings us to today's story. And again, this is me, Tosinger, your singing storyteller, and I'm so happy to be back on Tales with Tosinger. Today's tale is titled The Tortoise and Igbako. So yeah, there we go again with the tortoise. So this story is about the tortoise and this Igbako right here. Story. Once upon a time. The tortoise, as usual, I'm sure you heard this a lot, there's always famine in the land in the animal kingdom. And for some reason, it's always the tortoise that's always without. For some reason, only God knows why. And the bird seems to be doing fairly well, fairly okay. So the tortoise just trust the tortoise to always, go up to ask questions and find out and research. So he walked up to the bird and said, "Bird, you are always looking fresh. If there's famine everywhere, where do you get your food from?" The bird was a little hesitant. She knew it was a secret. She didn't want to divulge a secret. So he said, No, I'm not gonna tell you. But tortoise kept, persuading and just pushing for more info. And eventually the bird said, "Okay, I'm gonna tell you, but you have to let it remain a secret." So the bird got some feathers off her and pasted it on the tortoise, and flew the tortoise over 7 seas and oceans and just far away place. And when they arrived at their destination, the water goddess welcomed them. So the water goddess is actually the secret to the bird's buoyant and healthy lifestyle while there was famine in the land. So the water goddess said, "Okay, I'm going to give you this Igbako right here. This Igbako right here, I'm going to give it to you. You're going to ask the Igbako what it does." So the tortoise took the Igbako, looked at it and said, "Okay, Igbako, what do you do?" And the Igbako replied, "I make huge lumps of inyo and make huge lumps of eba, such that the whole world eats and leaves leftovers. I make huge lumps of inyo, I make huge lumps of eba, so that the whole world eats and leaves leftovers." And the tortoise was like, "Wow, so this is the secret." So they flew back home, and the tortoise gathered all his family members and placed the Igbako in front of everybody and asked the Igbako in front of his whole family, "What do you do?" And the Igbako said, "I make huge lumps of inyo and make huge lumps of eba, so that the whole world eats and leaves leftovers." And food just started appearing. Lumps of inyo is pounded yam, and eba, the molded gari that I told you about, just appeared, food, and they just started eating and eating. And the tortoise went to the palace and said, you know what, I found, remember, the tortoise promised the goddess that he wasn't going to tell anybody, because the goddess had told the tortoise that do not share the secret with anybody. So, but the tortoise, out of excitement and wanted to show off that he could provide for the villagers, went to the palace with Igbako, laid Igbako in front of everyone in the palace and said, Igbako, Igbako, what do you do? Igbako replied, I make huge lumps of inyo and make huge lumps of eba so that the whole world eats and leaves leftovers. And everybody just started eating and eating. And after a while, so used to eating all the time, and they started praising the tortoise and started feeling cool with himself, until one day it was just overused and the Igbako broke. And then the tortoise went to the water god. We borrowed some feathers from the bird, went to the water goddess again. And the water goddess said, why have you come? He said, oh, my Igbako broke. And water goddess said, did you share like I said you should not? You should not? The tortoise said, no, I did not. No, I did not share. He lied. Okay. And so the water goddess gave him a smaller Igbako. And then the tortoise took the small Igbako home and said, Igbako, what is your duty? And the small Igbako said, I make tiny lumps of inyo and make tiny lumps of eba, such that the whole world eats but is never full. Did the same thing with the family. Very tiny lumps of food just started coming out. Went to the palace, very tiny lumps of food started coming out. And everybody was wondering what's going on. The food has reduced in size. But even then, the tortoise started still using it, and it broke again. And everybody was like, what's going on? Give us more food, give us more food. And then he went to the water goddess again. Water goddess, what have you done again? What have you done again? Even with the tiny Igbako, he lied again that he did not share it. And the water goddess said, okay, take this, just ask it what it does, and there you go. And then tortoise did it and took it home and asked the rod what it does. And, oh rod, what do you do? And the rod said, I whip the disobedient, I whip the greedy till their skin turns white with pain. And he just started whipping the whole tortoise family. Started whipping all of them. And then again, took it to the palace. He said, oh, if the rod can beat my family like this, well, they shared in the food. They might as well share in also these beatings. So he took it to the palace and presented the rod to everybody and said, I have something new here. And put it in front of everybody and said, Rod, what do you do? And the rod said, I whip the disobedient, I whip the greedy till the skin turns white with pain. And he started beating all of them. And that's how they were all angry. And all the animals got whipped. And that's the end of the story. They all left in pain. The moral lesson, don't be greedy. Don't lie. If given instructions, follow the instructions. Follow instructions. Don't be greedy and don't lie. And that's the end of today's tale. Hope you join me once again, and feel free to share, comment, like, and subscribe. And see you next episode of Tales with Tosinger. Bye. Like,